So there we go. We are recording. This is our last get together of the summer session. If you need to get a hold of me, I will be available. If you email me, I'll be able to let me see. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna bring this down here. There we go. You'll be able to email me and I can get some stuff going for you. Remember, the work for the week is due on Sunday, and then on Monday your final portfolio. Okay, so that's what we've got going. And let me just jump into it. So there were some issues that Steven's having with some of his views and his viewports. So here's a few things that you can do. The first one is type in view res, and it'll ask you if you want fast zooms, and you say no. And then, enter circle zoom percent. And I don't know why these are not in percents, but set it for a big number because that will be more precise. So that's one thing to do. The next thing to do is to go to your options and go to your display, and up here, arc and circle smoothness. That's usually set at a fairly low number. You can make it a big number like 10,000. Segments in a polyline curve. Make that a big number. I don't know what this number range can be. That. And this is usually set at like 4 or something. Set it. So then when you apply that, that should bring this in. Now what you have to do is double click inside to get it to say model and type regen. And that will regenerate that view to be as good as it can be. So those are a few things that you can try. There's also, I don't know what this pan and zoom with faster Olay does. I don't know what these ones do. You might want to go ahead and look at those. There's also one called, oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Darn it all. Let's see. Share screen. There we go. That might work a little bit better. It's on the recording. But let me just go back to those options.
I was able to follow along and set it.
Okay, so here's the display options. Here we go. So those are the display options. So those are the things, and I'm not sure what it does when you go with, if it'll plot that way, what it does when it plots. But there's another one called graphics config. And if you do not have a video card that they say is great, you have to turn this off. And so if on your good one, it got set as on and you bring it back in, that might be an issue. I don't know that that's within this drawing or whether it's how that is, but that's one of the things to do. And then for 3D, you can check and see what these look like. And just check and see what is going on there. So this graphics config, I know that depending on your graphics card, if it gets reset for a different graphics card and tries to come back in, that might be actually the issue. That you've got one set up. So you might need to put in, it could be swapping between graphics cards. So that's just something to look at. I don't really know whether this is a global setting or if it's just in this file.
Now, one thing I discovered during the break was that if you're looking in the regular 3D, it
Mhm.
looks fine if you're looking on the model, but it's when it's in the layout that it's doing it.
Okay, then click inside the model, click in here and type regen and see what happens. REGEN for regenerate.
Yeah, it didn't change it.
Okay. Type in view res and go to no on fast zooms and set that view res really high. And then type regen again.
Yeah, I don't see a difference. I,
That is really that is really interesting.
yeah, because when I look at it in the model space, it looks great.
Okay, then let's gonna go back to layout and do it from a base view and see if there's something in that that is causing the issue. And so, what does it look like when you put it into these formats? Look okay?
Let me go back to it here. So just put it back as a line.
Yeah. Well, no, I have mine as shaded with visible lines.
Yeah, that's what I've got. And
Okay.
the edges are all jagged all the way around.
Huh.
But the lines aren't. It's the fill.
Yeah, I don't know. That is really now it's getting pretty. See if
I don't
there's
know.
anything in the yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here that would let you check it out. Shade resolution. What have you got on when you click on it? What is your shade resolution?
100.
So that's pretty low. I wonder how you can change that. Shade resolution. Huh. Well, that might be something that we have to look up. Shade resolution. Here's another one that you can maybe change is the ISO lines on the surface. Well, I'm sure not seeing where you get to play with that.
Yeah, I looked at that earlier and I couldn't figure out how to change it.
So but that seems to be like what the problem is that we've got a shade resolution. Is when we come over here to check it out. Because you can see down here, right? There's some little edges.
Yeah, a lot. And I'm wondering how much that is because I'm on a 5K screen.
Okay, well, what happens when you plot it?
It
The
plots
PDF.
mostly okay. I looked at it. There's a couple of gaps where I would have thought the shading would have gone all the way out to the line, and it doesn't.
Um, just try this. That you did it from the base view thing, right?
Yeah.
Try doing, go to layout and just try to make a rectangular view. And double click in it and set it for where you want it to be. And then see if you can play with it. See how it's different, right? As I
Yeah.
look in. And that's where that view res stuff comes in.
It brought in my 3D model and it looks fine. It's when it's in the base view stuff.
Okay. So go ahead. So that's your quick and dirty version of it, is to just put it in as a layout. And then there's something in the base view settings. So that lets us look a little bit farther, which I can do. But that's what I would do then, is I would put the view in from a regular rectangular viewport.
Okay.
And there's something with the shading. So there's something in the shade command and the view config that is shading that in a weird way.
Interesting. I didn't know we could do another viewport like that.
Yeah, so you can do either just regular viewports where you have full control, or you can make it from the base view, which in many ways is much easier because you have more control, right? You can change how it looks and all that kind of stuff. Just a little bit easier.
Yeah, no, that'll work out great. I did my base view for the 3 line points and then the viewport for the 3D model, and it looks fine. If that made any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's something with either ISO lines or surfaces or something like that. So potentially you could try these U and V under 3D modeling and just see if that, let's put it 100 and 100. And do a regen. No, that didn't change that at all. So there's something in the shading.
Okay.
And it's got to do, that is really weird.
Yeah, because the video card in the system is an 8 gig Radeon Pro 580. It's not some low end system.
Yeah, no,
it has the power to do it. I can't seem to make it work.
Yeah, it's just got there's a config in there somewhere that I'm not figuring out that is telling.
All right, I've got a workaround, so
telling you how to do it, and there we go. Cool. Okay, so we at least got it so that you can put something good in. Charlie, how are you doing? Do you have any questions right now about submittals or any last things before we're done?
No, I'm pretty good. I already turned in my final summary.
Oh, well, cool. There you go then.
But yeah, I'm still waiting to get through the lecture part so I could actually put that I've seen
Yeah.
the lecture. But for
Okay, well, you've been
the
through it, so now you can say yes. There we go. This week was pretty straightforward. So, Anna, how about you?
Yes, actually, I have some question.
Okay.
Just sorry to disturb you, but in the part two, when we use the attribute, add a URL to each attribute that links to a website that provide image of the product. So you mean that we have to use the product, for example, from the website or?
So you don't have to, but it's good to have a space for it. So here's how the marketing world works. You'll get somebody to contact your company and say, "Hey, look at these great cabinets that my company makes." That's all good, and if you put it in your drawing and your client contacts me, they'll get 10% off. And so that's how they go about trying to drum up business. So that you just say, I want a cabinet that's 18 by 12 with particle board, with veneer finish, and a ceramic handle. Maybe that's what you've designed. And your
Okay.
client says, or your contractor goes, well, shoot, I wonder which one they want. If you've got a link that you've cut and pasted in there, then your
Okay.
contractor knows exactly what to put in, and they'll usually get a lower cost because they can say, and I got this out of the drawing, and
Okay.
they'll get a break.
Okay.
Now that's called that's it's kind of a lot of places don't like that because it's called sole sourcing. There's only one source that's identified. And so it's sort of an unfair advantage to that company and contractors that have their own favorite people to work with might feel that they're at a disadvantage. But so long as your contract documents say or equal, then contractors should feel comfortable using whatever they want, and you're just giving them an option. So in this example, I don't actually care what gets put into that space, just so long as you have an attribute for it.
Okay. And one more question. In the creating the dynamic block, when we specify the first point, and exactly I don't know how to specify the opposite corner uh,
Okay.
of the. Can I?
Yeah, do
Thank
you
you.
want to share your screen?
Actually, I don't know how to share my screen.
Okay.
I tried too many times, but I couldn't do that one. Sorry about that.
Then that's okay. We'll do one here, and there's the block, and there's another little piece, and here's another little piece. There's my cabinet. Okay. And I'll put the attributes on really quickly. I'll put one on, and I'll just call it URL. There we go. And I'll put on, I'll put that as my standard. Okay, and I'll make it small, and I'll make it invisible, and I'll put it right down here because it's not going to show up. Okay, so now I'm ready to do it, right? So I'll create my block and I'll just use that point because it's easy. I'll select my items. I'll do those and my little URL. And now I'll open it in the block editor. Oh, I got to give it a name. Cabinet dynamic attributes. Okay, and so it'll come up and send me to the calendar. But that's how you put something in there. Kind of cool. Okay, so here we go. Let's put my 2 dimensions in first. There's 1 dimension. And here's my other dimension. Okay. So when I do my stretch, it says select a parameter right there. And then it says what point is actually which corner are you going to drag on? So I'll pull on that corner and it's got that little X on it. If I want to change it, I move over to this one. But I think I want that one. Okay, and now it says first corner of the stretch. So I want to leave this part alone. So I'm going to click from the lower right. And see how it's making that little box? And I get everything. So it's going to... Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on. I want to go that way. I want to take everything except this back edge over here. And now I have to... let me undo that. I'm going to do that again because I did that wrong. Linear. Okay. Actions. Stretch. Distance 1. And that little X shows up. So that's correct. Enter. Corner. I want all that stuff. And then what am I going to stretch? That thing and that thing. Those are the 2 things that are going to stretch. And I think that needs to go with it. Enter. Now let me do the other stretch. Distance 2. And I want it to stretch upward, so that's the one I want. Enter. Oop. Just did that wrong. Stretch. Yep, that's what I want. And now my stretch, I want to leave that handle in the bottom. So I clicked over here. And then so it's going to stretch in the upward direction from the bottom line where it crosses. And now I can select the objects again. And I don't like the way I did that. I'm going to get rid of that one because I did it wrong again. I'm not doing a good one. Select the parameter. Go in the upper direction. I don't want this bottom line to move. So I need to stretch from everything above those lines. I want to stretch those 2 things. There we go. Let's try it. Click on it. There it goes. I can stretch it that way. And I can stretch it up. Oh, I should have left that one in it. That one went up with it. So I should have put it in a different spot so it didn't go up with it. That's okay.
Thank you.
Cool. And then ATT edit lets me go in and change any of the attributes. Cool. There we go. You're doing great stuff. If you're on that, you're really far along. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Then that's really it. We're kind of done. I'm gonna look forward to see. Look at that. Now that I'm really zoomed out, this one's looking all crummy now too. So it's just a view res thing. I've made so many changes it doesn't know what's going on now. But it should still plot okay. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, then there we go. I want to thank you all for being part of the class this semester, whether you're here with us right now or whether you're watching on a video later on. You've done great work. The whole class has been just really, really excellent. I've enjoyed watching your work. Hopefully you've gotten good stuff. If you have any questions about what you might be taking next, I know a little bit about interior design and graphics. I know a little bit about mechatronics. I know a little bit about other things, and I know a lot about design technology. So feel free to email me and set up a meet if you have any questions about what you should take. And otherwise, I'm just going to say thank you, say congratulations, and hopefully I'll see you again in another class. Okay, and so Charlie asked if yesterday's lecture was uploaded. I think so. Hold on a sec. Now I need to check. That one was not. Oh my gosh. Doesn't look like I've uploaded them. I'll get those ones uploaded right away. I got that one on. That one. Looks like I forgot. Let me go put those ones on really quick. Good. Thanks for reminding me, Charlie. Okay, any other last things before we buzz off?
I found shader settings.
Okay.
Shade view quality. I upped it to 300 and it's a little better.
Yeah, it can probably go up into the thousands.
It stopped it at 300 DPI.
Oh, that's interesting. All right.
But
Well, you might have to get onto the AutoCAD Knowledge Network for that one.
Yeah, it could very well be. I'm just running at such a high res that when I'm zoomed in to see it, I'm zooming in at such a low level.
Yeah. Maybe you want it the opposite. Maybe you want to go to a really low level.
Yeah, I'll play with it.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
Thank you so much for all your help and support, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Great.
I really enjoyed this class.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Cool. Hopefully you'll be back for more. We'll see you later, guys.
Thank you. See you later. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.